Hi everyone! So we have another video this week based on my grooming equipment and what I use for going down to the horses. I have two different grooming totes, both by Noble Outfitters. So this is their mini tote and then this is their standard one. This is the one I had first. At the moment, the one that I use is this little one because this is the one I take down to see Jasper. Now, Jasper is owned by the Ashfields Equestrian Trust, so as a result, he is pampered beyond belief, so really I wouldn't need to take anything down with me. They have everything that he could possibly want. However, it's nice for me to be able to go down and groom him a little bit myself before we start driving. It's something that I quite enjoy, and it's great that he's so great with me in my chair. So this is the little pack that I take with me. So we'll go through this one first. So you'll notice on the side I've got a little treat bag attached. Normally this would not be in the packet, but because I'm not going to see Jasper for a little while, I thought I would keep it in the packet, keep it a bit fresher. But that's where all of his treats would usually go. We have a visitor. Come here then. Marcel. Marcel. Come here. Come here. Marcel. Come here. Hello, baby. Oh. We have a visitor. He's on a walk. Hello, Floof. Okay, I'll let you go enjoy the garden. We'll do the rest of the outside pockets first. So in these pockets I keep things for me, so I have some tissues in case I need them. I then have a spare hair tie in case I've forgotten mine before I go. Little Velcro pocket. It actually has the option to be able to write your name on there, which is great if you are at a yard where lots of people might have these, and so you don't get them mixed up and you know whose is whose. But for me that's not a problem because obviously this is going to and from the yard with me. And then in here I keep the gloves that I have been using with Jasper when I've been driving. Now these are actually, I'll probably do a full review of these another time, but these are the winter version of the Noble Outfitters gloves. So I keep those in here because when I'm going into the yard on my chair, I'm trying to carry this on my lap. I don't really have space to carry anything else. I attach my helmet to the bar on the back of my chair. I'm sure I'll show you all of this at some point in the future when we end up actually being able to go back to the yard. But to make life easier, I keep my gloves inside here so that I know that I'm not going to forget them and leave them in the car. Okay, then the remainder of the outside pockets that are things for Jasper. I have my Davies hoof pick. So a while ago, I think it must be a couple of years ago now, Davies, who's the groom for Carl Hester and Charlotte Dujardin, did a collaboration with HAAS and with Exclusive, which is an equestrian brand, to make a set of brushes that were great for everyday use as well as going to shows. I was actually the first person to ever buy it. I bought it the day it was released, before they'd even been made. So it was when they were released at Olympia. I saw the lovely lady at Exclusive and I said, yeah, definitely these are amazing. And I had a chat with Alan himself and he explained the thought process behind all the different brushes. And at the time I had I think I already had most of the other brushes that I now have as well, but the brushes that he'd put together really filled in the gaps that I had in my grooming kit. So one of the things that I really love about his hoof pick is it's really strong, but also it then has the brush, and the brush is really stiff. It's not one of these rubbish brushes that's useless. So in that way, it's really good. Then the other thing on the outside that we have in this big pocket is my metal curry comb. Now, metal curry comb, you don't use this on your horse, ever. Do not do it. However, this is really important for when you're grooming, for your other body brushes. For instance, I've got one here. As you're grooming, you need to make sure that you're cleaning them off, otherwise you're just moving dirt around your horse. So this is really important part of my tack kit, and I keep that on the outside so it's easy to grab. Okay, so onto the main brushes in my kit. Now, I have more in here than I would usually do. After I washed them all, as you saw last week, I decided to have a little bit more thought process behind the brushes I kept in here. And because I am not going to be taking my big grooming tote down to my flat with me, just to save space, I thought, actually, I'm going to put all the brushes that I potentially might want to use with Jasper in here. So, in here, we have, first off, little Alan Davies face brush. This is actually the same bristle type as the coat gloss brush, but it's just in a miniature form, which is brilliant for ponies like Jasper because they've had tiny faces, but also for any horses really that don't like having a big brush put near their face. It's also great because it's got the elastic over here, which I never really struggled that much with the leather ones before, but now I have issues with my grip. Actually, the elastic is really helpful. Okay, and then the other three brushes that I have on this side are my bigger body brushes. Now, Jasper is a dark bay, and the great thing about these HAAS brushes is that they are adapted depending on the colour of your horse. Now, all of the different horse coat colours actually have different types of coat as well, so it really affects how to get the shine depending on whether you have a grey horse or a bay horse or a chestnut horse. So these brushes are actually not the ones that I used with Archie, which I absolutely love those particular brushes. They made him sparkle and look amazing, and I'll show you those in a minute, but they won't work for Jasper. So in here we have three different brushes. The first one, which is great for just getting the first lot of dirt out of him, is called the Parcour. So that's this one, and it's got stiffer bristles on the inside than the outside. This one is one of the newer ones by Exclusive, so it doesn't have the raised bristles around the outside. Personally, I prefer the ones with the raised bristles, but I know they were struggling to make them quick enough, so I appreciate that it was a necessary thing to do, but I do prefer the old style ones. This is the only new style one I have. Second, we have the Lipizzaner HAAS brush. You can see again, I've got mine from Exclusive, so it's got their little branding on, but it's the Lipizzaner HAAS brush. This one does have the raised outer bristles because it is from their old edition. This one is great for like really good shine on a dark bay horse or pony. So that is another great addition for Jasper. And then the last one of the big brushes I have on my first side of my grooming tote is the Cavaliere. So this is the third brush that's in the dark bay set, or recommended for the dark bays. From Exclusive, it's that old one with the raised bristles around the outside, and this one is meant to be really great again for that deep cleaning to get out all of the dust. So those are the 3 that are sort of recommended for dark bays. So I keep those all in here on the one side. Then on the other side of my grooming tote, because it splits down the middle, so this one is the one I use for manes and tails. It's actually an Oster brush. I know some people have the whole set of these. I only have the mane and tail brush. It is brilliant, I will give them that. When I first bought it, it was quite expensive. I'm not sure if they charge a similar amount anymore, but it was an expensive brush. But I bought it 5 years ago, and it hasn't lost a single bristle in that time. And I have dealt with some knotted up tails, I can tell you. So I have to admit, I am very impressed with this brush. We have my curry comb. Again, this one is part of the Davies collection, but it is actually identical to the other HAAS curry combs. It's just in this lovely blue colour. Now, when I first saw a picture of these curry combs, I was really circumspect. They look really harsh, but actually they are really effective and actually quite soft on the horse. I've used this on Archie's joints, on his legs, etc., and it's never upset him in any way. It's actually quite soft, and you can bend it. If you're stronger than me, you'll definitely be able to bend it. And it's amazing at getting dirt out. By far the best curry comb I have ever used. So I have this one. I also have a second one, which I keep in this other grooming tote that you'll see in a second. Then we have another part of the Davies collection. He calls this the Flicky brush. It's a dandy brush, as you can see. This is great when you are doing a groom and you just want to quickly go over everything. What I personally would do if I was just wanting a quick groom before we start doing some riding or driving, I would use the main cleaning brush from the base set and then give him a flick over, well, first the curry comb, main cleaning brush from the base set, and then give him a flick over with this, and it just means that all of the dirt will be out there. He might not look show ready as such, but it's really effective quick grooming routine, so I do like this one for that. And then finally we have 2 last brushes in here. The first one is Fesselbürste brush. This actually has plastic bristles, and the middle bristles, the grey ones, are slightly taller than the outer black ones. The black ones are slightly more stiff than the inner ones. Now, those of you who don't speak German, this is a Fetlock brush. So what you use this for is under the fetlock, above the hoof, where a lot of horses, at least I found with the horses that I've dealt with, can get a lot of dirt and grime down there, and it can get really irritated. So this brush is actually brilliant because it gets right in under their fetlock, cleans it all out. I've found this is really good as well for just the bottom half of their leg, not just around that area. So really good brush, highly recommend that one. And then the last one I have in here is another body brush. You might be going, why do you have so many body brushes? I know. They all have different uses though. So this one is the Pinto brush. Now this is not specific to any particular colour horse, but it has 2 different types of bristles in a random pattern. It's designed to look a bit like a Pinto. However, the main advantage of this brush is that it achieves what the set of brushes would do in less time. It's not as good, it doesn't create as much shine, etc. It doesn't clean as well as if you used all the brushes in one go, one after the other, but it's very good for cutting corners. So this one I used to love with Archie to use after a ride. I would use it on him just to brush him all down, relax. So this one I've decided to take down with me for Jasper as well, in case I can make any use of it. The other brush that actually, it doesn't live in my grooming tote. This will be living in the boot of my car. It came as part of the Alan Davies set. I can't remember what its official name is, but essentially it's a brush to get all of the hair off you. So it's not for the horse, it's got these rubber bristles and it's really effective. You just brush yourself down and it gets all of the hair. So during shedding season, I used to get covered in ginger hairs off Archie, and this made me look a lot more presentable before I went inside. So yeah, really good brush. Hi everyone, so Naomi from the future here. Just to let you know that this video that you're watching now is about to end. I decided to split the original video into two because it was way too long. So this one, you've obviously just seen what I have in the mini grooming tote for Jasper, and I'm going to release another one hopefully on Sunday, so watch this space, with the big grooming tote and the remainder of the brushes that I have got. So I hope you have enjoyed today's. Sorry for the shakiness, as per usual, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do hit that like button and subscribe. And I don't know why I keep on touching my hair, I'm sorry. But yeah, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.